Okay.
Okay. Good evening. Welcome to the July 13th Public Council meeting. Can I have roll call, please?
Councilman Sakala.
Here.
Councilman Masseri.
Here.
Councilman Zakeli.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Tinella. Mayor Peterson.
Here, please rise for the flag salute.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Adequate notice of this meeting was duly provided to the Verona Cedar Grove Times and the Star Ledger by email and published in an annual schedule of meetings December 26, 2019, filed with the Township Clerk and posted on the Public Bulletin Board in the Municipal Building lobby in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, and it was updated July 9th. Item 2, extraordinary business of the Township Council, ceremonial administration of oath to council member. Mr. Zakeli, you can take, yep. Oh, we should take pictures.
All right, Joe, give me 1 second. Mayor, how are you?
Good, how are you? Welcome.
I will note that I was turning on the TV the other day, and I saw you running a budget meeting on 6:15. Very much in control, and I was very impressed on how smoothly everything had been running,
Thank you.
despite the technical problems that we obviously observed from that McElroy kid.
He's on the line.
We're trying to get him in order, don't worry, we're working on it.
First of all, it's an honor to be back here today under a wonderful circumstance to see one of the sons of Cedar Grove get sworn in. And Carrie, I see you, one of the daughters of Cedar Grove, and Peter, one of the sons. Joe jumped from Little Falls, we know that. And Joe Chikala, nobody has done more public service in Cedar Grove than certainly Councilman Chikala. And I think when you find out about Joe Zakeli, you're going to find out much like you, Carrie, and Peter, and Joe, he is so dedicated to this. He was born for this moment. You know, there was an advertiser in the 20s, this guy, Ralph Bernard, talked about how a picture tells 1,000 words. So at some point you have a picture of Joe on that, so I wanted to give you a preview of what some of those pictures might look like. So you have your choice of this one, which is, now you can explain this, Joe, this picture.
I wonder how you got that.
I got it. Or you can have option 2, or you can have option 3 when he graduated from Seton Hall Prep. So for people that don't know, Joe literally went to South End Middle School, Seton Hall, and now Seton Hall Law School. You know, there are a few things we know about Joe, that he is as hard a working person as you're ever going to be. He's one of our employees at our law firm, and he's there at 6 o'clock in the morning. He's the first person in, last person out. There is nobody that I think will better serve Cedar Grove than Joe, and I mean this. Joe is a couple things. First of all, he's like Benjamin Buttons. He was born 90 years old. Now, I don't know if it's the grandfather influence. Yes, Chrissy. Very wise, sometimes wise beyond his years, but he's going to come to grow and make this council work even better than it's working right now. For those that don't know, Joey's favorite baseball player is Mickey Mantle. Now, you ask anybody who's 23 years old, Kevin, what's your favorite baseball player? Say Derek Jeter or something. He says Mickey Mantle. That tells you about this person. Yes, Joe?
Absolutely, absolutely.
But it's an honor for me to be here to see. I've seen Joe grow up literally from like kindergarten to where he is a man. He is a grown-up, an individual, and we couldn't be prouder to have him step up and serve. I think the council's made a very wise decision on selecting Joe. And so it's my honor to come as a former mayor here to swear in Joseph. Mom? Mom, want to hold the Bible? We have the oath right here.
We should take pictures.
All right there, Joseph. Please state your name.
I, Joseph Zakeli,
Do you sincerely profess and swear
do sincerely profess and swear
that I do and will bear
that I do and will bear
true faith and allegiance
true faith and allegiance
to the government established in this state
to the government established in the state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States of America
of the United States of America
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New
of the
Jersey,
State of New Jersey,
and I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the
of
duties
the office of councilman
of the office of councilman
of the Township of Cedar
of
Grove,
the Township of Cedar Grove,
according to the best of my abilities
according to the best of my abilities
and understanding.
and understanding.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
One copy for everybody.
Thank you very
Anne
much.
Marie was involved with that.
I expect nothing less. I wouldn't doubt it. So I will keep this short and sweet. This is an incredibly humbling experience. First, I would not be where I am today without the support of my family, especially my mother, Chrissy, who held the Bible for me. Thank you, Mom, for being there for every endeavor I embark on. I want to thank the rest of my family, my dad, my sister, and my grandma. My grandma's the best cook and baker in the world. That will power me through whatever I need to be powered through. And the rest of my family for always being there for me and supporting me. Words alone could not adequately address Senator O'Toole and all he's done for me in his tutelage and his mentorship for me. I know he's super busy, so I thank you isn't enough for taking the time out of your schedule to swear me in and your kind words. I truly appreciate it. I also owe thanks to Al Barlis for coming today. His friendship is something I'm truly grateful for, and thank you for coming, Al. I want to give thanks to my high school friends who are always willing to lend a helping hand to me, as well as my law school friends, one of whom happens to be in here today, both a high school friend and a law school friend, KJ. Thank you very much for coming. My law school friends, anyone that went to law school tell you first year of law school puts you in the trenches, and you form bonds there that are unbreakable. I love Cedar Grove. I'm honored to be here. I thank the governing body for trusting me and selecting me to fill this vacancy. As far as I'm concerned, there's no better town manager than Tom Tucci in the state. I think everyone will agree with that. I'm very lucky to work with him, Mrs. Stutz, Mr. Semeraro, and the rest of the governing body to keep Cedar Grove the community we love, the one that compels us to serve, and the one that we want to preserve for future generations. I promise the council, I promise the residents to use my tenacious work ethic to promote the values that we share on the governing body, to do its best for Cedar Grove, to listen to their concerns and adequately address them. Councilman Messeri and Chicala, Deputy Mayor Tonella, and Mayor Peterson, I am honored to have the opportunity to work with you, and I look forward to this opportunity and all the things we can accomplish as a team. So thank you.
Well, I would like to be the first to congratulate you. I am very excited for you to join this council. I want to thank everyone that did show interest and want to be a part of this council. We had 3 other gentlemen express interest, and we appreciate their time and their efforts, but it was really no question, hands down, you were a perfect fit. Your experience growing up in town, everything that you're going to bring to this council, we're lucky to have you, and we look forward to working with you. So
you.
congratulations,
Thank you
and thank you all for being here. Appreciate it. Okay, do you guys?
I'll also add my congratulations, and you said one thing before you left the podium. You said that you're glad to be part of the team, and that's what we are here. We're a team, and we all collectively work hard for this town, and we know that you'll do the same. So
Thank you.
Congratulations, and I really look forward to working with you as well.
Thank you.
Councilman, I had congratulated you before, I'm gonna do it again, and, we're honored to have you. I know you said you're honored to be here and be part of this team, but we are truly honored to have you as part of this team. We're certainly gonna work hard. We worked hard this past year, and we look forward to continuing, the progress in this town. So, welcome aboard. Great words from our former senator, Kevin O'Toole, your mentor. Did a great job, not only swearing you in, but giving us these lovely pictures, which are gonna certainly come in handy.
I can't wait.
Certainly gonna come in handy.
Absolutely.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Okay. Okay, item 3, approval of minutes. A, to consider approval of minutes of regular public meeting, June 1st, 2020. Can I take these together, Kathy, or? Yeah? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, and B, to consider approval of minutes of special public meeting, June 15th, 2020.
Make a motion to approve, Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilman Sakala?
Yes.
Councilman Messeri?
Yes.
Councilman Zakeli?
I'm going to abstain.
And Mayor Peterson?
Yes. Number 4, public hearing. I'm going to open this portion up of the meeting for a public hearing, but A, to consider adoption of pending bond ordinance 20-861, reconstruction of Ozone Avenue. We are going to postpone this portion of the public meeting until the August 17th meeting. B, to consider adoption of pending ordinance 20-862, 2020 salary grades and ranges, wages and fees of municipal officers and employees.
Open the public meeting.
Oh, I'm sorry. And then, hang on. So this portion of the meeting is open to the public for any comments. So I'll have to ask Jeff to unmute each, well,
I think he's embarrassed. There's been a lot, like a whole fan club there.
right?
I guess we're done with that.
Can Jeff hear? Jeff, you can unmute each line if the public wishes to, if anyone wishes to comment on this portion of the meeting.
I think, very touching.
No? Okay. Seeing none, I'll close that, and Kathy, you can read the,
You need a motion.
I'm sorry.
Mayor, I move for the adoption of pending ordinance number 20-862 to be published in the Verona Cedar Grove Times as a passed ordinance to take effect as prescribed by law.
Second.
Second.
Okay.
Roll call.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Sakala?
Yes.
Councilman Messeri?
Yes.
Councilman Zakeli?
Yes.
Mayor Peterson?
Yes. Item C, to consider adoption of pending ordinance number 20-863, amending Chapter 251 of the Township Code entitled Vehicles and Traffic. I'm going to open the public portion of this meeting for this pending ordinance only. So if anyone from the public wishes to be heard on this ordinance, we will unmute each line, and please speak if you wish to be heard on this item alone. So Jeff, you can unmute each line.
Wants to make a change.
No.
So, when you talk to him, if you would like.
No? Okay. Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the meeting. And do I have a motion?
Mayor, I'll move for the adoption of pending ordinance 20-863 to be published in the Verona Cedar Grove Times as a passed ordinance to take effect as prescribed by law.
I'll second that, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Can I have roll call, please?
Councilman Zakeli? Councilman Sakala?
Yes.
Councilman Messeri?
Yes.
Councilman Zakeli?
Yes.
Mayor Peterson?
Yes. Item 5, the meeting is now open to residents of the township wishing to be heard on any item on the agenda. And Jeff, I'll ask you once again to unmute each line. Okay, seeing none, I'll close that, and we'll move on to item 6, reports of the township officials.
How do we do
Ta-
this? How,
Township Manager, good evening, Mr. Tucci.
Good evening. Just a couple of quick items. Number one, you have a request for a block party on Upland Way. This is an annual event. The residents there normally have it every year. It's proposed for September 19th, 2020. It's going to be from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. And along the line of wearing masks, they're calling it a masquerade party. So residents have a good sense of humor. They have a nice party. I went a couple of years, so we'll send this off to police and fire department if the governing body concurs
Okay.
with the request.
I have no objections.
Objections.
Okay.
Also, at this point, I'd like to congratulate Joe Zakeli. Former Senator O'Toole made a comment that he's wise beyond his years. It's very true. And again, nobody his age likes Mickey Mantle. I like Mickey Mantle. But Joe, welcome. You're going to do a great job. I mean, I know you since you were in kindergarten when Antoinette LaCapra's daughter had you in that class. So, but you're going to
you.
do well. And
Thank you.
council, you made a good choice, I think.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
all
you
I
very
have.
much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Tucci. Mrs. Stutz, good evening.
Good evening, Mayor. The only thing I have is there was a letter in the packet from a resident requesting a resolution to acknowledge and recognize the 100th anniversary of the League of Women Voters.
Yes, I saw that, and I would propose that we do a proclamation and invite her to come in when we can do so, when we can have someone come, maybe, I don't know if we could do that at the August 17th meeting, but I would like to do that. I saw the letter. I think it's a great idea,
Yeah, I
if
can
no one
get the
objects.
proclamation.
No? Okay. Yeah, that's a great idea. Thank you.
Okay, that's all I have.
Okay. Mr. Semeraro, good evening.
I don't have anything to report, but I also would like to congratulate Joe. When we first met, I knew eventually we'd be working together. I just had no idea it'd be this fast. So,
Thank you.
Welcome on board. I look forward to working
Thank you
with
very much.
Okay. Councilman Masseri.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have a formal report, I just had a couple of questions for Mr. Tucci, just some updates. Mr. Tucci, a few of the residents have inquired about the LRP field, what's going to happen, what's the timeline?
It's funny you mentioned that. I got a call from John Cornelia from K Hovnanian. With all this COVID going on, we're scheduling a meeting possibly for this Thursday to find out what the startup is going to be. The plans are finalized from Mazer, so we're going to see what the start date's going to be, but I'm assuming that's going to kick up rather shortly.
Okay, and we'll know the timelines after this meeting?
Yeah, they're going to have to give us a schedule, start date, and when they think they're going to be substantially complete at that point.
All right. And there was one question about, I know Bradford is not a municipal road, but again, there's been construction on there. Any updates or anything I can report back regarding
Well,
Bradford?
as you can see, they're working on it as we speak. As a matter of fact, our clerk could not get into her house this evening because of the work.
It was Ms. Stutz that asked that.
But the answer to the question is that section of Bradford was not completed because of the state work that had to be done. So now
Now they're prepared.
they're preparing that. And along that line, I can give you an update on Route 23. Route 23 was scheduled to start, based on the last schedule I have, this week, which is not going to happen because the state forgot to have the contractor go back and prep all of the ditches that they dug all along, because if they went over them without them prepping them, there'll be all depressions after the pavement. So that's going to take them about 2 weeks, and you can expect the first week in August that you'll see the pavement start. It'll start down near the firehouse on South End and work up.
That's all I have.
Okay.
Mr. Tucci.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Scala.
And Mr. Tucci, just on that note, because it was one of my questions, will we, at that point, once it starts, will we have a good idea as to what parts will be affected when, so we can let our business owners on Pompton Avenue know?
Yes, as a matter of fact, the township engineer has already spoken to them about maintaining access for the business in the central business district during the pavement. So they're gonna have to stage it a lot differently, and we're gonna let the business owners know what that staging plan will be. Look, they're getting hit hard enough with COVID-19.
Right.
The paving, we don't really wanna hurt them all the way.
Okay, thank you. The only other thing that I had was, everyone probably heard the news that the school, Cedar Grove School District has a new superintendent. And I was honored to be part of the committee that selected him. And we met with him, we met with the two finalists, and Anthony Grasso, the former, or actually the current, because he didn't leave yet, principal of Montclair High School, is going to be our new school superintendent here. He is very anxious to meet the governing body and Mr. Tucci. He may have even reached out already, I don't know.
He
but-
did.
And he's very interested in making sure that we're all on the same page and we continue our working relationship along the same lines we had with Mr. Featherman. So I don't know if when, I think he starts August 1st, so sometime thereafter we may plan something to have a little gathering where we can meet him and talk to him. Beyond that, I have nothing further.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Sekeli?
Yes, just briefly, a lot of residents were very happy with the fireworks being moved one day, so Mr. Tucci, thank you for that. It was good to see some sense of normalcy back, even if it wasn't traditional. I think a lot of the residents were happy that the governing body bumped it back a day, so That's at least the feedback that I was given. No
Good.
other reports.
Okay, thank you very much. I just have a couple things. I was actually going to also welcome the new superintendent, Anthony Grasso, and I'm happy that you brought that up because I also want to continue to foster that relationship. I think it's really important. I'm looking forward to meeting him and continuing for us to all work together. What else did I have? The paving was on my list, but we got that. Mr. Tucci, the bench at Panther Park at the softball field, is that going to be put in, was that put in? I know it got all, I know,
It got
because
put
of the,
off only because, but just, I need the location where you want to put in.
okay. I showed,
Because it's all put together, it's down.
I
at the
know, and
DPW.
I was just thinking of it today when, thinking about what from my report, and I'm like, oh, the bench. So, yeah, I could go over with you. I
If you
think
just
we
let me
picked
know
out a spot by the
What
shed.
the location is, only
Okay.
because we're going to probably try to put a concrete pad underneath it.
Right.
Otherwise, people will be sitting sometimes in mud.
Yeah, no, perfect. Okay, good, thank you. The only other thing, I wanted to, we had a Cedar Grove resident just randomly, I think, just to show support for our police, just kind of the state of affairs that we're in right now. A lot of people just in general want to show lots of support for police. So a Cedar Grove resident just posted on Facebook that she was collecting money for the Cedar Grove Police Department to just buy them some meals, and she got an enormous support from residents in town. I don't know how much she ended up collecting, but I think it was a significant amount of money just from social media. So I just think it's so important that everybody know how much that we do support our police here locally and nationally as well, what the country's going through. But I wanted to thank her, and I wanted to thank all the residents who took time and their funds to give to our police department to feed them. I know she was just planning on buying food, and it's funny when I think, whenever you want to try to do something nice for someone, the first thing you do is feed them, because it's just like what we do, right? We nourish, and it's kind of like it's just the basic natural human instinct to feed people, to make them feel better. So, it's just a nice initiative, and I wanted to thank her for that.
Next, we'll have to buy them exercise.
We'll have to maybe we should have just put in a gym. So, and that, we had a letter from a resident, Mr. Tucci, you saw it, regarding the pickleball.
Yes.
Is there any way that we could get the tennis courts lined for pickleball?
Problem with that, it could be lined for pickleball. The problem is this: there is an overabundance of usage on the tennis court right now. So if you paint lines for pickleball, it's going to lessen the participation of the tennis players, which there's not enough time for tennis players right now. I think a better solution would be to find another location to line and have it separate, because if you put it combined, there's going to be a big battle on who's going to be able to use the court
Okay.
and when. So I talked to the recreation director, and we went through this, and we don't think it's a good idea to put it right there. We think it's a good idea, and we think we should locate it somewhere, but not on the tennis courts, because you're going to shortchange the tennis players in town, which there are a number of.
Okay, so you could do it, it doesn't have to be on a tennis court?
Yeah,
It
but
could-
look, we have the other tennis courts down the road.
The old courts.
The two new ones, we're gonna leave it. Because
Yes.
the second one's scheduled to be color-coded as soon as the weather breaks.
Right.
A little bit more. It's gotta be a little bit warmer than what it is right now.
Yeah, I was thinking the one down at the bottom of Bordick,
Mhm.
the old one.
Yeah, we're gonna take a look at it.
Okay.
We're not discounting it.
Right.
But we don't wanna put it on the new ones that were
I agree.
color-coding.
I agree. I think it should go on the old one,
And
but.
we know pickleball's an up-and-coming
Yes, yeah.
activity in
And when
town.
she said she's been playing, in other towns, I felt bad. We want to be able to, if we can.
But again, I
give
don't
them-
want to create the conflict between tennis and pickleball.
Yeah.
As to who's going to use.
Yeah,
the court.
yeah. I mean, there are people, that's where I live, and I walk my dog 700 times a day. So there's always people on the courts.
Yeah.
Always, always. So,
We have more requests than there is time on the tennis court.
yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for considering that. And that's all I have this evening. Okay. Number 7, consent agenda. A, to consider resolution concerning approval of raffle application Cedar Grove Elks.
You can take both these items.
Okay.
Mayor.
And B, to consider resolution concerning approval of raffle license amendment, Parent Faculty Association of Mount St. Dominic Academy. Do I have a motion?
So moved, Mayor.
Okay, thank you.
Second?
Okay, thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilman Sakala.
Yes.
Councilman Misseri.
Yes.
Councilman Zakelli.
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes. Number 8, new business. A, to consider resolution concerning submission, execution of 2021 NJDOT grant application agreement.
I'll make a motion to approve, Mayor.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Just for
Thank you.
informational purposes, the application is for the reconstruction of South Mountain Avenue. If anybody takes a ride down there, South Mountain Avenue is in pretty rough condition. You saw earlier this evening, we tabled the resolution for bonding for ozone, which was an NJDOT grant for $275,000. So we're hoping to get grant money for South Mountain, and that's what this application's for.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, can I roll call, please?
Councilman Sakala.
Yes.
Councilman Misseri.
Yes.
Councilman Zakelli.
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes. B, to consider resolution concerning 2020 salaries of unrepresented employees.
Mayor, I'll make the motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Can I roll call, please?
Councilman Sakala.
Yes.
Councilman Misseri.
Yes.
Councilman Zakelli.
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes. Number 9, approval of bills.
Be it resolved that the summary of bills, having been duly audited and found correct, are hereby ordered paid in the amount of $4,492,308.95.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilman Sakala.
Yes.
Councilman Misseri.
Yes.
Councilman Zakelli.
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes. The meeting is now open to residents of the township wishing to be heard on any item on or off the agenda concerning township business. Yep.
Can you hear me?
Good evening, Mayor. Kate
Hello.
Hartwig, Essex County Liaison. How
Good.
are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Just a few announcements. Essex County is continuing to run mobile testing sites for COVID-19. Any resident who wishes to have an appointment can go to the website essexcovid.org, or they can call 973-324-9950 in order to make an appointment. This week, on Tuesday, July 14th, they will be testing at James Caldwell High School, and then on Thursday, July 16th, at the Glen Ridge Country Club. So both relatively close for Cedar Grove residents. Also, the county is continuing with an emergency food distribution event on a weekly basis. This week's distribution event is at Weequahic Park on Thursday, July 16th at 9 a.m. But we are posting those locations weekly up on the county's website for any resident who may need that. And in addition, Turtleback Zoo is holding its summer camp programs this year on a reduced scale, but we do have spots available for any families who wish to enroll their children. They can go to the zoo's website to register.
Oh, that's
One
great.
question, Mayor.
Yeah.
On the testing, is that for COVID-19 or antibodies?
Just COVID-19,
Just COVID-19?
not the antibody.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
I want to say thank you for the crosswalk over by Panther Park. It's great, and I'm glad to finally see it there and in use. So thank you. It's going to come in handy.
You're welcome.
Okay. Jeff, you can unmute each line and see if anyone wishes to be heard.
Would anybody like to be recognized at this point?
Oh, hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, hi, this is town resident Jackie Palmieri. I actually was the one who wrote in about the pickleball request, so I just really wanted to thank Mayor Peterson for being so responsive to my letter and request and bringing it up at the meeting. And so I heard your response before that it sounds like you would rather look into a possible different location that may be pickleball only. Is that correct?
That's correct. And I want you to understand, we're not
All right,
we're not discounting it. We just want to have it so that we don't have competition for the. Could you just have your address, please, for the record?
Sure, 69 Ozone Avenue.
Thank you.
Yes, that's understandable.
Okay.
I've been playing in Clifton, and like a lot of the courts or other places that I've been playing, that's what I've seen, where tennis courts that are already, set, that are just lined for the pickleball, and then therefore it serves a dual purpose. But I see what you're saying, that we don't want, definitely don't want to see competition between the time, since we only have the two sets of courts. But obviously that's a much more costly way to do it than to build or construct a whole new set, where I thought this would be something that if it was taken into consideration, could be pretty cost effective.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Anyone else? No? Okay. Okay, that's it. All in favor of adjournment?
Need a motion.
Oh, sorry. A little excited. Can I have a motion?
Move to adjourn the meeting.
Thank you.
Second, Mayor.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.